Comparatives and superlatives in German are special adjectives that compare two or more ideas. Comparative adjectives describe a noun by comparing it to another noun. When we use comparatives, we show a change and make a comparison between nouns. In English, this concept corresponds to adding er to adjectives or the word more. In German, comparatives are similar because a German adjective will also get in the basic form. However, if a German adjective has one syllable and contains a, o, or u, the vowel will often change to an umlaut. Some adjectives are klein, schnell, alt, groß. To make a comparative, we add to the end of the adjectives, and if they have a, o, or u, the vowels become umlauts. Kleiner, schneller, älter, größer. To put these comparatives in context, we need the preposition then, which introduces the second element in a comparison. In German, the word is als, so some examples are: Mein Haus ist kleiner als dein Haus. Dieser Zug ist schneller als der Bus. Mein Bruder ist älter als ich. Der Elefant ist größer als das Pferd. This is how comparatives work in context, but another usage they have is the construction the, such as the more you learn, the better you get. In German, this construction is made with the words je, desto, like je mehr du lernst, desto besser wirst du. In the example, we have an irregular comparative besser, which I'll explain in a minute. Other examples are: Je älter ein Wein ist, desto besser schmeckt er. Je größer das Auto ist, desto mehr Benzin verbraucht es. This is how the comparative construction je, desto works in German. Still, it's important to understand the irregular comparatives that German has. Such adjectives are similar to English, like gut, besser, viel, mehr, hoch, höher, while some end in most have a completely different word or a removed letter. Some examples are: Dieses Buch ist besser als das andere. Hat mehr Geld als sein Bruder. Der Turm ist höher als das Gebäude daneben. This is how irregular comparatives work in German, but moreover, it's possible to find adjectives that naturally end in L and R. In this case, German has a special spelling rule. If an adjective ends in L, its comparative will drop before R, such as edel, edler, and dunkel, dunkler. Some examples are: Dieser Wein ist edler als der billige. Der Himmel wird dunkler vor dem Sturm. Oppositely, if an adjective ends in it usually will not drop like teuer, teurer. Dieses Auto ist teurer als mein altes. Furthermore, German has a special structure that eliminates the need to repeat a comparative, which makes a continuous change. Immer plus a comparative, which in English means getting more and more. Some examples are: Das Wetter wird immer kälter. Wird immer besser im Deutsch. Lastly, it's important to discuss the concept of mehr. Unlike English, where we use more with long adjectives, German adjectives form comparatives without mehr, despite adjectives being long, like interessanter and effektiver. Grammatically, it'd be incorrect to say mehr interessant and mehr effektiv, so this concept doesn't work in German. However, mehr is used when a word is not a typical adjective and when it doesn't have a natural comparative form. For instance, we can use mehr with past participles as adjectives. Der Film war mehr gelungen als erwartet. Likewise, we use it with adverbs and abstract nouns. Spricht mehr theoretisch als praktisch. Ich brauche mehr Zeit. Mehr is also used with quantity. Ich habe mehr Geld als du. And it can also intensify meaning. Ich mag dich mehr und mehr. Overall, this is how comparatives fully work in German. Now, let's discuss superlatives. Superlative adjectives describe a noun when comparing it to two or more nouns to the highest degree. In English, we typically use the letters est, add an article, and if an adjective is too long, we use the word most. In German, the structure of superlatives is a bit similar, but there are spelling rules with additional words. Generally, German superlatives are built around predicative adjectives where there is no noun after them. So the construction would be most, plus an adjective, plus sten. This is the general pattern for predicative superlative adjectives. However, there is a spelling rule we need to know. If an adjective ends in de, te, s, sh, zet, x, instead of adding sten, add esten for easier pronunciation. This helps the flow of the word and makes it sound smoother, and it happens because these endings can make a superlative sound a bit clunky if we just add sten. So, to avoid having too many consonants, we add esten instead. Some examples are: Dieses Haus ist am kleinsten in der Straße. Läuft am schnellsten von allen. Der Elefant ist am größten im Zoo. Now, some examples with esten. Die Musik war am lautesten auf der Party. Der Film war am kürzesten von allen. Fühlt sich am gesüdesten. All of these superlatives end in esten because their preceding letters force a better pronunciation. In this manner, predicative superlatives also have irregular forms, like gut, am besten, viel, am meisten, nah, am nächsten. While all of these end in sten, their superlative form may be completely different, with some receiving an umlaut and a letter. Some examples are: ist am besten in der Klasse. Mein Haus ist am nächsten zum Park. Remarkably, German also has superlatives with alternative forms, like früh, which can be am frühesten or am frühesten. Both forms are correct, and we can have a phrase like Ich bin am frühesten aufgestanden. Overall, this is how superlatives work in context, but these were all predicatives that work with no noun. This is important to know because German also has attributive superlative adjectives that follow different rules, coming before a noun and modifying it. For attributive superlatives, the pattern looks like this. We use a definite article der, die, das, depending on a noun's gender, an adjective, and then we add ste or este when an adjective comes before a noun, like der, die, das kleinste, älteste, größte. Some examples are: Das ist das kleinste Hotel in der Stadt. Ist der schnellste Spieler im Team. Das größte Gebäude in Berlin ist der Fernsehturm. Notice how all of these come after a definite article and before a noun, which explains why they are attributive. Finally, a good tip for knowing German superlatives is that spoken superlatives, as opposed to written ones, are often heard with the construction am aller and a superlative. This is done for emphasis, like Ich bin am allerstärksten, and it's very common in German speech, although not formal. Overall, this is how comparatives and superlatives work in German.